Okay, so now that we have learned our A2, you're asking yourself a question. What is A2? Well, that's a complicated musical answer, and I want to let you know that there'll be some times when you see chords that say just regular A. Sometimes you'll see A7. As a beginner, part of the reason I'm teaching you some of these 2 chords is you can play them for a regular A, you can play them for an A, what you'll see later, suspended. You're going to learn those chords as well. But right now, this gets you to a place where you can play and not have to worry about knowing every single chord there is. This A2 is also a very contemporary sounding chord. A standard A chord sounds like this. And an A2 sounds like. So one sound is very traditional, and one sound is very modern. And since we're trying to get you towards a modern worship environment, that's why we're teaching chords this way. Okay, so we've learned our A2. Let's just use our 2nd and 3rd finger on the 2nd fret, 1, 2, and this is on your 3rd and 4th string. And we're going to strum that, and we're going to do downstrokes only, and we're going to set the metronome on 60 beats a minute. And we're going to take our time with this. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. Now you'll notice as well, see how my thumb's riding kind of high on the neck of the guitar. That's comfortable for me, and you can hear that string is still ringing. It's not forced my hand to the point that I'm getting, hear that thud? That's my finger touching that string. This may be comfortable for you, this may be comfortable for you. For me, this is super, super comfortable. And what's on the back of the neck is not necessarily the tip of my thumb, but it's actually the back of my thumb. It's the back of my hand. Okay, if that works for you, great. You got to have a good neck angle. You got to have that neck pushed away from you in order to play that way, though. But I find it very comfortable. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Play that A. It's A2 chord. Just try to stay with the click. Listen to what's going on around you. Just downstroke. Don't try anything fancy. Just strumming right straight through. All right, and we'll stop right there. Now, let's move right ahead and look at the last chord on this page, and that chord is an E. You'll see it's got an M beside it, and that stands for minor. Now, what are minor chords? Minor chords, they sound different than what are called major chords. Every chord has an identity. It can only be certain things. It can only be major, minor, diminished, augmented, half diminished. They can be several different things, but most of what you are going to deal with is going to be major and minor. Your ears are going to know the difference. For example, this is an E minor chord. It's kind of got, some people say a sad sound, some people say a reflective sound, and then this is a major chord. It's a little brighter. Some people say happier. The way I describe it is, it's a sitting chord that stands up. An E minor chord to me just sounds like it sits, and then a major chord, it's like it stands up. May make sense to you. I may be alone in my insanity. So there is a difference between a major and a minor chord. You need to know that whenever you see that letter name and then an M beside it, that means the chord is minor. And you need to know the difference between the two, not only in your ears, but also in your hands. Okay, so now looking at that E minor chord, we're going to take, again, the 1st and 2nd finger. We're going to go to the 2nd fret, and this time, instead of being on the 3rd and 4th string, it's on the 4th and 5th. So here it is, right there. That is that bad boy. you're going to play that chord until the cows come home. It's a great chord, beautiful chord, and it really allows you to involve all 6 strings. Very resonant chord. Acoustic guitar is like low notes. Anytime you can get that low E in there, acoustic guitar is going to love it. Okay, so now that we've got that, let's strum on that chord for a little bit. And as we're strumming these, what we're doing is we're building our sense of time, and we're also building our strength in our left hand. 2, ready, go. Now we're going to switch to the A, 2nd and 3rd finger, and what this allows us to do is essentially leave the 2nd finger in place. So I want you to think about what we're going to do. We're going to make the change to the A2, and all we're going to do is keep that 2nd finger on the string that it's on the fret that it's on. We're going to lift the 1st finger, and we're going to put the 3rd finger right on that 2nd fret on that 3rd string. So think about that change. Think about what's going to happen in your hand. Got it in your vision? Got it in your head? Here we go. We're going to make the change. Ready? 1, 2, ready. Make the change. There you go. You're in that A2. You probably bobbled it. Go ahead and get all of your thoughts together. You got that A2 set up. 2nd and 3rd finger on that 2nd fret, 3rd and 4th string. Got it? Okay, now that you've got it, we need to go back to that E minor, because it's not about being able to play the chord, it's about being able to make the transitions between multiple chords. Going back to that E minor. So all you're going to do is you're going to lift that 3rd finger, keep that 2nd finger down, and you're going to put that 1st finger down on the 5th string on the 2nd fret. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. Now you'll notice when I made the change, I had to slide my fingers just a little bit. Let's go back to the A. Ready to make the change? 1, 2, ready, go. You see me make that little slide? That allows me to stay close to the fret with whatever finger is the lowest. So now when I make the change back to the E minor, I'm going to have to slide forward. Here it is. Did you see it slide just a little bit? You may be having trouble with that. Don't worry about it. You'll get it. You're going to get to do this a couple million times, and you'll have it where it needs to be. All right, 2, ready to stop now. And just so you know, I'm going to go back and record all of the exercises at the end so you can have somebody to play along with, and you'll know kind of how it works with the metronome. You'll be able to see my hands moving back and forth. It'll really help you. I highly suggest, as I did to everyone in the class, that you find someone in the class in your area and you practice with them. Practice with these videos. That's great. It'll help you out tremendously. But also find a real live breathing person who will make mistakes right alongside of you. So you don't have to just play with me while I'm making mistakes. We can all make mistakes together. It'll be great. All right, one more chord and then we're going to move on, but we're going to have to save that for another video.